Hey everyone, this is Emily and welcome or welcome back to Emily Central, your source to all things Philippines. I hope everyone is doing well. Today is July 19 here in the United States. And if you're familiar with my videos and with my channel, you can probably see that I am back home here in California. I arrived from the Philippines a few days ago. I actually shared a video with you guys about my experience traveling from domestically from Davao City, Philippines to Manila on our way back to the United States. So please watch this video if you want to know exactly what happens for your domestic routes and what happens when you arrive in Manila preparing for your flight for the United States. So what I'm going to talk to you guys today about is my experience flying back to California here in the United States. You know, a lot of people have been saying, you are always saying how easy it was, but really there is no other way to describe it. It was super easy and hassle free because there was really not much to prepare about. So what I want to go over first are a couple of questions that's always coming up here on my channel. Okay, do you need one health pass to go back to the United States from the Philippines? And no, you do not need to register for one health pass coming back to the United States from the Philippines. You only need one health pass when you leave and enter the Philippines. So one health pass is only needed if you are going to the Philippines, regardless of where you are coming from, what age you might be, and your vaccination status. You need one health pass, QR code or barcode, in order for you to check in and enter the Philippines. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. You do not need it if you are leaving the Philippines. Okay, another question, this is a couple of Q&A that I want to go over about, is do you guys need a pre-departure COVID-19 test, either an RT-PCR or an antigen test, to leave the Philippines to come into the United States? Now I'm only talking about coming into the United States from the Philippines. Okay, you would need to check your individual country wherever you might be going to see if they still need it. But for the United States, they do not need a pre-departure COVID-19 test. If you are leaving the Philippines to go to the US, you do not need it at all. So before, I have shared many videos with you guys when my mom, when my sister, when my aunt, my friends, when they left the Philippines, they needed to have a COVID-19 test, a negative COVID-19 test, which was required by the United States in order for you to enter the US. But no, it is no longer needed starting June 12th. And CDC and the United States did say that they would review it after 90 days. But for now, if you are leaving, unless there are any other special announcement, you do not need an RT-PCR test or an antigen test to leave the Philippines in order for you to enter the United States. So those are the two main questions that's always coming up on my channel. Now let's talk about my departure. Okay, so the video from Davao to Manila, watch that way you will know exactly what you need to do in order for you to do your domestic flight. When you get to Manila, I spoke about going through TSA security, okay, where they take your luggage and go through the whole process, making sure it is ready for you guys to leave the Philippines and enter the US, and they will go ahead and check it in for you. So we were told to claim our luggage here when we arrived in Manila, and we will have to transfer to another area, which I was told just a carousel down, carousel number 1, and TSA inspection will be there. They will have to open up all our boxes before we can check it in for our flight for the United States. So we'll see what will happen when we get to TSA. You will already have your boarding pass by the time you leave. If you are taking Philippine Airlines, if you have a connecting flight, you will already have your international boarding pass with you. And all you need to do is just go upstairs to the international flights and go directly to immigration. When you enter the entrance of the international airport for Philippine Airlines, you would go left. Okay, that is where immigration is. If you have not yet checked in and you are coming from Manila, you need to go to the right where all the terminals are at, or all the gates are at. And that is where you get your check-in, you check in your luggage, and as well as your boarding pass. And then when you do that, you can go ahead and go to immigration. But for our scenario, because we already had our boarding pass, all we had to do was go directly to immigration. Okay, since we already checked in and got our boarding pass for San Francisco in Davao City, we no longer need to line up to drop off anything or check in. We are now headed to immigration. So I'll let you guys know later what they will ask from us leaving. But here we go. And we went to immigration. I am an American citizen holding only a U.S. passport. I am not a dual citizen. I am a former Filipino, okay, holding only a U.S. passport. When I got to the immigration officer, there was nothing to fill out. Usually there's some kind of form that you need to fill out, some kind of exit form or anything like that. There was nothing. All I had was my boarding pass for the United States and my U.S. passport. I went to immigration and all he asked me was, when did I arrive in the Philippines? And I told him that I arrived May 24th. Looked at my passport, stamped it, and out I went to the gate for my flight. And you guys, I know some people will say, that can't be right. I mean, that is it. Because I only stayed there for a couple of months, there was not a lot of information that was needed. When you get to the gate, there is another security there for Philippine Airlines, okay? I'm gonna be very specific because I know some airlines might have different information. So Philippine Airlines, when you get to the gate, there is another, you are subject to another security where you have to put through your hand carry again through security. And then there is gonna be a couple of more airline agents, they're airline officers. They're just gonna ask for your passport again and boarding pass. Pretty much that's it. It's pretty much what they ask for you at the immigration officer. But you guys, I don't really have much to say. I mean, I wish I could really talk more how difficult it was. I mean, no, there wasn't anything. As an American citizen, considered a foreign national, that was all they asked. My mom's partner, who is also an American citizen with a U.S. passport, that's all they asked from him as well, except he did stay in the Philippines for almost 3 years, so he needed to show his exit clearance. Okay, for foreign nationals exiting the Philippines, you, after 6 months, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I will have a complete video about exit clearance in the next couple of days. Okay, I will talk about what he needed to do in order for him to exit as a foreign national with an exit clearance. But if you are a former Filipino, a dual citizen, an American citizen, if you've only gone there for, you know, a few weeks and you're just heading back home to the United States, trust me, you guys, no hassle at all. Super easy process. Just get your boarding pass, go to immigration, boarding pass, and your passport, and that's it. And you go to your final gate and wait for your flight to be ready to take off. So that is all, really. I mean, you know, everyone's gonna have different scenarios and different situation. I am telling you guys, as a foreign national, as a dual citizen, as a former Filipino, if you are a green card holder, they will for sure ask for your green card as well with your passport, and but nothing else. No COVID-19 test, no forms to fill out. That's all I needed. So that's it, you guys. That is my trip coming back to the United States. No issues, no hassle, no paperwork to do, and no COVID-19 test, and no One Health Pass. Okay, thank you all very much for watching. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing and like this video. I would really appreciate that. I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care. Bye.